Hello viewers, today's our topic is land resources. Land is a very important natural resource as it supports natural vegetation, wildlife, human life, various economic activities, transport and communication systems, etc. So land is very important natural resource and it supports what that in land various kind of vegetation is stay, wildlife also belongs from a land, and human lives also create various kind of their settlement or various kind of activities into the lands. Land is limited, so it needs to be used with care and concern. So land is limited, so there have a fixed amount of land and it needs to be used with care and concern. That's why we need to use these lands carefully and concernly. India's geographical area comprise that 43% plain land area of agriculture and industry. So Indian geographical area comprises, here one estimation is that 43% plain land are under agriculture and industry, and 27% plateau, which is source of minerals, fossil fuels and forest. 30% mountains, which provide river water and sites for tourism and ecological aspects. So 30% mountains, so which provide river water, that waters are. And next is land use pattern in India. We use the use of land is determined by the following factors. So there have various kind of factors, those determine that for what land we need to use. So first one is the physical factors, that these include climate, soil type, topography, etc. So these are some factors, that physical factors, that what is the climatic condition, what are the soil types and topography, they are also used, that they selected that for what we need to use our lands. Next is human factors, that these include population density, cultural traditions, technological capabilities, etc. Next is land utilization. In India, land resources are used for the following purposes, like first, forest, land not available for cultivation, barren and wastelands, that they are not available or they are not able to use for various any kind of cultivation, so they are under that land not available for cultivation. And another, the land put to non-agriculture use, that buildings, roads, factories were set up, then they are also not usable for our agriculture or any kind of things, so they are fixed for certain work. And next is other uncultivated land, that permanent pastures and grazing lands, land under miscellaneous tree crops and groves, they are also under that non usable lands. Next is cultivable wastelands, these are also unable to use for the agriculture. Next is fallow lands, that current fallow, if they are less than 1 year, then current fallow they are known as, and other than current fallow below between that 1 to 5 years, they are called as current fallow, other than current fallow. And net sown area means gross crop area plus net sown area, they are actually the land resources, but we need to use this unused for improving the land capability. Total geographical area of India is 3.28 million square kilometer. In India, land use data is available for only 93% of total area, because land use reporting of northeastern states except Assam and some part of Jammu and Kashmir has not been surveyed. So except Assam and Jammu and Kashmir, all the data are surveyed, or all the lands are surveyed, and they collect the information that 3.28 million square kilometer, it is the total geographical area. Between 1960 to 61 and 2008 to 2009, major changes took place in land use pattern. So some changes are held in during this time. Area under forest is far less than 33%, which is necessary for maintenance for the ecological balance as per the National Forest Policy of 1952. That National Forest Policy they delivered a lecture that at least 33% areas should be under the forest, but it is not really happened. The land under permanent pastures is very low and still decreasing, and day by day the land area under permanent pastures, these are decreasing, and most of the other than current fallows are of poor quality, or cost of such cultivation is very high, and these lands are cultivated once or twice in about 2 or 3 years, and if these are included in the net sown area, the NSA will become 54%. So that we can see that various lands, those are stay as a uncultivable condition, then we need to use them and we need to recultivate there, and we need to create these kinds of agricultural lands from their position as a fallow lands. Net sown area in different states. The pattern of net sown area varies widely between different states, and it is over 80% in Punjab and Haryana due to intensive agriculture facilities. It is less than 10% on Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur, Mizoram, and Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Next topic is land degradation and conservation measures. Human activities have degraded land and also increased the pace of damage of lands caused by natural forces. So human activities have damaged lands because human are involved in various kind of activities. Those are uh, depends, or those are related with the lands, and that's why we use the lands for our various purposes. And wastelands are degraded lands, and there include rocky, barren, arid, and desert areas. Currently, India has about 130 million hectares of wastelands. That means they are not usable, and it comprises 28% forest degraded area, 56% is water eroded, and 10% in is wind eroded, and the rest 6% is affected by saline and alkaline deposits. So within that, the amount, this 130 million hectares, those are wastelands, that there have the sheer 28% with forest degraded area, 56% as a water eroded area, and 10% is as a wind eroded area, and the rest 6% are affected by saline or alkaline deposits because their salinity and the acidity is there, and that's what they are not available for the agriculture. Deforestation, overgrazing, and expansion of mining and quarrying operations have contributed to land degradation. And besides, natural factors like wind and water cause erosion of topsoil, leading to land degradation. Mining and quarrying cause deep scares on land, and mineral processing like grinding of limestone for cement industry and calcite and soapstone for ceramic industry generates large amount of dust, and it ultimately settle down on the land, retarding water filtration into the soil. Industrial effluents and waste have caused land and water pollution in many areas. Area and cause of land degradation. So there have a chart that cause of land degradation and area. That mining and quarrying, for the mining and quarrying, land are degraded in basically in the place of Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, like these places. For water logging, Punjab, Haryana, Western, overgrazing, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Maharashtra, industrialization causing retardation of water infiltration into soil in pockets all over the India. To solve the problem of land degradation, the methods given can be employed. That we can use some methods for solving this problem with of land degradation. That first one is afforestation and proper management of grazing lands. So we need to plant the trees where the plants are destroyed. There we need to plant new plants, we need to grow, and proper management of grazing lands. We need to manage the grazing lands, and discharge and disposal of industrial wastes after treatment. Control over mining activities, we need to control the mining activities. Planting of shelter belts of trees in arid areas, and in arid areas for stopping the expansion of the arid areas, we need to plant beside or as a belt of this arid area, and we need to stop the expansion of the arid areas, and control on overgrazing and stabilization of sand dunes by growing thorny bushes and managing wastelands. By this process, by these initiatives, we can solve the problem of land degradation.